Okay, here we go. Hello, how are you? My name is Matthew. You are in the moment. 11:31, late night. On here a little bit late because I was reading a story that I will share with you at the end of the show, as I have some notes here. Just going to go down chronological order. I was just reading the story because it came to my attention a few days ago, so I was just getting a refresher. So we'll talk about that, and I'll try and share the link somehow with you. I may have to copy and paste a bit of the story, but I can certainly point you in the right direction. I just don't know if we can share news on social media, definitely not Facebook. Anyway, so just a few notes. Was in here on Monday night, and thank you for the 1,600 hits on that particular video. Again, this is therapy for me. It's nothing for me to turn my phone on. Again, I am just looking at my camera, and out of my peripheral, or more straight on, but my eyes are bad, I just see me. So if you're watching this live, like Rebecca is, hello, how are you? Welcome to the show. If you're watching this at your leisure, which I know so many people do, I appreciate that as well. And throughout the show, and throughout tonight's quick show, because I'm going to get back to binge watching season 2 of Stranger Things. Season 5, the final season, is out. What I'm going to do throughout this quick live stream is just subtly, in the most subtle way, show you that you are indeed living in one of the best countries in the world. You don't have to be over the moon proud of this country and some of the things that it's doing right now, but please be thankful for where you are, and that you don't have to go anywhere. So just subtle things tonight to let you know that. Okay, real quick, going to be like a rapid fire thing here. I just want to talk about the weather real quick. I like to start my shows off talking about the weather. I hope you had a chance to get outside today. Yesterday was a bit more soggy, but the temperatures the last couple of days have spoiled us. So mild today, mild yesterday. Looking ahead to tomorrow, 6 degrees, possible showers. Temperature is going to take a nosedive. It's already much colder out this evening. Obviously, the sun is down, but the temperature really did take a dive. Looking ahead to Saturday, Sunday, looking at a mix of sun and cloud. Maybe more cloud on Saturday, temperature holding steady at 0. Looking ahead to December 1st, +7 and some showers. -2 on Tuesday, and that's where the weather is going to take what could possibly be a very deadly turn for the worst. Snow, just straight on snow, is in the forecast for Tuesday night, definitely Wednesday. I know that's a few days away. I was just watching the weather on the CBC this evening. I'm sure they'll be tracking it. But all you need is some precipitation and some cool temperatures, and when they mix, it's either going to fall as rain or it's going to fall as snow. That's just the way it is. That's just science. So we'll see as we get closer to Wednesday what concerns me and what should be concerning to everyone. Right now we have dozens of individuals that are currently, supposedly, allegedly, on the move from Lower Flynn Park, which is one of the soon-to-be de-designated areas here in the HRM. So they've been given their eviction notice. They have to be off that property by December 6th or 7th. So just think about the weather that we've had the last week, the last month. Know that there are fellow Nova Scotians, fellow humans, fellow neighbors, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, co-workers. There are people out there struggling this evening, and they're packing up their gear and they're going to God knows where, because the municipality is going to tell them that you have better options, and those options are go be terrified and traumatized continuously in a shelter, or go to one of the other lawless encampments here in the HRM. I would implore any politician from any level to spend just an hour at an encampment, let alone spend a night there in a tent by yourself. Are you kidding me? You'd shit your pants. It would be the most terrifying hour or evening of your life. So until you get that through your head, what you continue to do to the people that you represent here in this province is deplorable. Absolutely deplorable. So I'm hoping that search and rescue, this snowstorm, this snow, whatever falls. Snow is snow. I don't care if it's 2 centimeters or 2 inches or 2 feet. There needs to be prep underway right now. Search and rescue, the province needs to be involved, because those individuals that are at those encampments certainly don't need to be outside dealing with what could be the first snowstorm of the year, or of the winter. So again, that's why I do this. Like what I'm about to tell you, what I've seen in the last 72 hours, the reality that I try to explain to you, I'm not making it up. This is just what I see with my own eyes, and I'm just trying to convey information to the audience, and you can pick it up and do whatever you want with it, or you can keep scrolling. I don't care. This is my bullhorn, and I will turn it on whenever I have something to share with you. And speaking of sharing, this weekend, Michelle Hiltz, who has been on my radio program before, has been on this show here, I believe. No, I don't think we've live streamed. Definitely on Truth from the Booth. Michelle is going to be in this neck of the woods this weekend. We're going to get together. We're going to hang out. We're going to have a recorded conversation, and that's going to be up on the Truth from the Booth probably in early December. And hopefully we'll take a drive and get out of the peninsula just for something to do. This weekend or within the next week, I'll definitely be getting together with Lynn, maybe Rebecca, and I'll be receiving those at least 30 care packages, and that's coming from Hugs. That is Hearts United in Giving Society. So I really, I love the donations that are put together. I love the work that's put into this. I certainly love it when those donations are dropped off to me and I just go into this city. I'm in this city every day. And there are times where I'll take in, half a dozen packages, and I can literally walk down Spring Garden Road and hand those packages out. It's just a great conversation starter and just another subtle hint to let you know that you could possibly be living in one of the best countries in the world. Okay, on a show here Monday night. So here we are 72 hours later. So I want to tell you what I've seen, and most of this is geared towards people who are out on the street, just observations that I have made in the last 72 hours. So we're really going to pick up the pace here. 9 minutes into the show. Definitely want to keep it under 15. I think we can do that. I was telling you earlier in the week about the resident, the one occupying space, the green space right across the street from the art gallery. I told you that compliance had been on that property just to see. I don't know if anyone was there when the compliance officer was there, but I can tell you that individual there. Well, I can't tell you if the individual is still there, but the structure, the tent, is still in that green space, which tells me if there's a tent there, chances are there's someone in there in the evening. No one is going to set up a tent in the middle of the city for their storage. So the likelihood of someone still tenting across the street from the art gallery, probably pretty good. And I say go for it. Go for it. Stay there as long as you can, because I know moving from point A to point B absolutely sucks ass. So just ride it out as long as you possibly can. Tuesday, I ran into global reporter Mitchell Bailey, who was doing a story for the Tuesday Evening News. So I encourage you to go to the Global Halifax website, look for the story that ran on the evening news at 6. And what I take away from that story, it's so nice to hear from the people who are crunching the numbers, the professionals who are looking at this crisis and basically reiterating what I have been telling you for the last 3 years. They're just reiterating exactly it's simple numbers. It's greed. We have a province that has expedited the process to kick you out of your apartment. So it went from a 14-day grace period to catch up with your rent to 3 days. So that's the current government that has done that to you, which is why when you look at the numbers, surveys and stats, people that are out on the street, the number is growing. They just simply cannot keep up with the cost of living. And if you think that the people that are unhoused are out there primarily because they're drug addicts or they're alcoholics, you're part of the problem. Because we know that there is a multitude of reasons why people are out there. And I'll give you an example. I come with receipts, and I'll tell you again, if you want to know what's going on in real time in this province, go to the Facebook page, Helping End Homelessness in Nova Scotia. There was a post up there less than 90 minutes ago. People are looking for help because they are fleeing domestic violence. There's a story up there. There's a young mother with 2 toddlers looking for a place to rent somewhere different because they have to keep moving because they have someone stalking them, and they fear that this stalker knows where they are now. So they're going on Facebook, they're going on social media looking for help. So if you're on that Facebook page, please just go there for help. Do not go there to troll that Facebook page. People are in just very dangerous and very traumatic situations, and they certainly don't need people who have wanted for nothing on there commenting their BS. Okay, so let's do that. Getting wound up here, I know, but this fires me up. Went into the city this morning. I don't have to be to work till like 2:30 in the afternoon. So if I wake up in the morning, if it's halfway decent, I will get on the bus, go to the south end of the city, and walk back, and then get ready for work, go back into the city. What I saw today on the bus was a verbal and intense verbal altercation between one of the transit drivers of a bus that I wasn't on and another individual who I don't know if he was getting off a bus, on the bus. They just kind of walked out in front of the bus that I was on. It was a very heated exchange. The bus driver that was driving our bus was key in de-escalating that situation. Absolutely. Within 5-7 minutes, everything was back to normal. I'm sure there was probably several reports filed, but I made a point when I eventually got off the bus, maybe 10 minutes later, again, going to the south end of the city, I made a point when I got off the bus to tell that bus driver, basically, I don't know if transit drivers take a de-escalation course, but you got an A because you did exactly what you needed to do, because your coworker, he was just like going bonkers, was absolutely going bonkers. And judging by what he said, if he hadn't been in uniform, or the next time he sees this guy and he's not in a uniform, there's going to be trouble. There's going to be trouble. So again, I take notes on my phone, and my whole day is just observing everything that I see, everything that I hear, which leads me into getting off the bus down on Barrington across the street from the Tim Hortons. When I get off the bus, there is an elderly gentleman who I recognize from Spring Garden Road, from just the peninsula. You'd be hard-pressed to find someone else on the peninsula that walks it as much as I do, simply because we don't have a vehicle. I do take the bus from time to time, but you will find me walking. So I recognize so many faces. I may not know their name, but I know their behavior, which is 1,000 times more important than knowing their name, knowing their behavior, and knowing their moods. So you know whether or not to approach someone, whether you've had a conversation with them in the past or not. If you can read them properly and you know they're not in the right frame of mind, you don't have a conversation with that individual. That's my advice. That's my own personal advice. So anyway, I get off the bus. I'm walking to Tim Hortons right there in Barrington. I'm in line. I get my coffee. I'm getting ready to leave. This individual this elderly man, tall, gray beard. I see him all the time. I don't know his name. He walks into the Tim Hortons, the same one, just as I'm leaving. He walks right up to the front, doesn't really care that there's a line of people waiting to be served. He wasn't there to purchase anything. He just went in, grabbed some napkins, immediately turned around and said, "Can someone here buy me a coffee?" He didn't say someone is going to. He did say, "Can someone please buy me a coffee?" Now, by the time he said this, I was getting ready to leave. He was kind of blocking me. I had some change. I had like $2 in change. I literally stuck my hand out to give him the change. He brushed my hand away, just kind of gave me a side glance, brushed my hand away, and was in a stare down with two people who were sitting down at a table. He goes, "No, thank you. I'm having a French vanilla." So unbeknownst to the individual who was sitting at the table, he was now going to be getting this guy a French vanilla. So this guy's digging for change. And I just left it at that. So you just never know. Like I said, I've seen this guy through the city 100 times. I'm not surprised to see him on the south end. You see him on Spring Garden Road. You see him on Gottingen. He's all over the place. He walks just as much as I do. One final thing, just what I've seen here. If you are, now that the leaves are falling, we're definitely seeing a lot more of what's in the forest. So what I did notice today on the bus leaving the city, sitting on the right-hand side, sitting on the passenger side of the bus, you cannot help but notice, and I advise, this is something a politician could do. If they don't want to walk it, just get on the 29 bus or the 84 or any bus, the number 2, the 90, any bus that's leaving the city on Barrington. Because of the elevation you're at, you can see the chaotic scene that is the Barrington Street encampment. Now, you might say it's kind of two separate areas. You have the area up by the bus stop, right there by the on-ramp to the McDonald Bridge. But as you go further south, there's a green space that runs along the bike path and the pedestrian path. It's down over an embankment. Now, there are just as many tents down there as there are at the bus stop, if not more. And just think of the weather that we've had recently. It is an absolute shitstorm in there. And when winter does roll around, I'm hoping that all of those tents are going to be empty because the people have moved on to, affordable housing, or they're in a tiny home, or they're in a pallet shelter. Those would be better. This would be 1,000 times better than going to another encampment or a shelter. One final thing that I saw today, and I've mentioned this many times, we are seeing, at least I'm seeing, and if you walk the city, it doesn't really matter if you're in Halifax or whatever community you are in, you will see, or if you haven't, you will see in the very near future, you will see more elderly individuals, either in walkers, or a gentleman I saw today, motorized scooter, pushing shopping carts. They are out looking for recycling. They're out looking for recycling because whatever money they are getting in per month is not enough. And I can't imagine being outside of any given business or on any median is going to make that up. So again, the cost of living is going up. No one's making a livable wage. It's just a recipe for disaster. I want to make mention of this. An individual who, I said I wouldn't mention any names. I'm going to try and be as generic as possible. An individual who watches this show. He has a family member who is currently unemployed but looking to volunteer somewhere. They're a non-driver, so any place that is transit friendly would be helpful. So if you know of any organization that is looking for volunteers, maybe for the holiday season, please leave that information here in the comment section or send it to me in a private message and I'll reach out to this individual here. So If you know of any organization that is looking for volunteers, like I said, a gentleman who watches the show has a family member who is looking to volunteer their time and is just looking for ideas, different places that they can inquire. Okay, want to end the show with this. 2 things that you can watch this weekend. The curling finals are finally underway. So I just want to let you know what's happening here. The women's final is tomorrow night. Here are we. Tomorrow's Friday. So tomorrow at noon is game 1 of the women's final. It's a best of 3. So game 1 tomorrow. Holman versus Black. Black is from Nova Scotia. I believe they might be right here from Halifax. So that's got the city buzzing, which is wonderful. And the game 1 of the men's final, Jacobs and Dunstone, goes 6:30 tomorrow. Again, those are both best of 3. So we could have curling if both men's and women's go their 3 games. We could have curling right here in Halifax until 8 o'clock on Sunday. That would be a 6 o'clock start Sunday for game 3 for the men. Okay, I know I've said this is the final thing a few times, but one final thing. And this is why I was late. This is why I was like a minute late getting into the show, because I was just rereading the story here. But I'm just going to read you the headline, and you can search this for yourself. This was a very easy Google search for me. Actually, all I punched in was Windsor warming hut. I punched that up, and this website came up. And again, I'm just looking at my home screen here. Thesaltwire.com. Annapolis Valley, a disaster waiting to happen. No winter warming center in Windsor, causing concern for unhoused. So I just want you to read that story where they are saying no to a warming center. Yet we have a whole country, Finland, who they know that the best first step is to get people inside 4 walls. So a whole country is doing it right, and we have a community on the other side of Nova Scotia who can't even agree to put money together for a warming center. Think about that. That's a big no to the warming center in Windsor. Wow, how gross is that? Okay. We are approaching midnight, and I just that's it. That's what I got. That's how I wanted to finish this. Just to call out the community of Windsor, and again, do your research, Google it, find it, read it, and voice your concern if you so choose. My concern, looking ahead, weather, snow is in the forecast. Snow is gonna, middle of next week, and we are just another week and a half where everyone at Lower Flint Park needs to vacate that property. And I was just down there last weekend. No one's gone anywhere. It's exactly the same way it was. So I say to everyone down there, just stick it out. Stay right there until they put you in dignified living spaces. It's got to be dignified. It's got to be dignified. And asking you to go to another encampment or to a shelter, that is just a big it's a big X. So, last reminder. One of the best places on the planet. My name is Matthew, and you are currently caught up in the moment.